Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Purple Table Tarot. My name is Robin, and I will be doing a pick-a-pile reading today. And what we are going to do is we're going to look at your first quarter of 2024. We're going to do January, February, and March. So I'm just cleansing the space and the cards with some frankincense, and we will get started. I'm going to introduce the piles to you. Get my incense in my little rice bowl here. Okay, so I'll introduce the piles. Pile number 1. We have Smoky Quartz. It's a Smoky Quartz Merkaba. And I like the theme of the star for January for Aquarius. Okay, well, it's also Capricorn, but I'm just going to get right into it because Capricorn also encapsulates the last part of the year. So this is the beginning of the year here. So there's Smoky Quartz for pile number 1. Pile number 2, we have some red jasper. I think there might be a little bit of hematite in here. Okay. And one of the things I forgot to do before for my whole setup is plugging in my laptop. So let me go ahead and grab my charger for that. Hang on just a sec. Okay, so that was pile number 2, the jasper, the red jasper. Like I was saying, I think it has some hematite in there. So red jasper is very orange. It activates the sacral chakra. Okay. The smoky quartz, I forgot to say, is often used for protection. Pile number 3, we have a labradorite. And labradorite is really good with connecting to intuition. Okay. So go on ahead and pick your pile, and I will see you at your reading. Hello, pile 1. If you picked the Smoky Quartz Merkaba, this is your reading. And like I said in the intro, what we're going to be doing is looking at the first quarter of the year. We are going to pick a card for you and your current situation at this time, and then we're going to look into January, February, and March. And from there, I will clarify the cards. Okay. So I want to invite Spirit in at this time with so much grace and gratitude, and respectfully request a message for pile number 1's greatest and highest good. Please and thank you, Spirit. Okay, so for you, we have the Knight of Pentacles, January, Queen of Cups, February, the Emperor, and March, Queen of Pentacles. Very interesting. Bottom of the deck, we have 4 of Swords. So right now, you very well could be taking a break, kind of gearing up for the new year. We do see some slow-moving energy with regard to your intentions and movement towards a situation with the Knight of Pentacles. Now, that's not to say that the Knight of Pentacles is only about dragging their feet by any means. It's like basically the knight that does want to move whatever he has or whatever they have inside of them outside of them, and not just for the moment, but for the long term, okay? And so there's a very thoughtful quality about the Knight of Pentacles. One of the downfalls is that they could take a little bit too long to really get going. And if their plan or their vision involves other people, not everybody is on the same timeline. So you kind of got to take those energies into account, like what it is that you want and the time that you're taking and the action that you're taking to get there. Do you need to, speed it up just a little bit? Okay, so let's go ahead and look here. So January, we have the Queen of Cups. So pile number 1, you may have some earth in your chart here with the Knight of Pentacles. Some water, you could be dealing with a Cancer, Scorpio, or a Pisces. Earth signs, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. With the Emperor here, that's Aries energy. And then we also have more earth sign energy with the Queen of Pentacles. A little bit of air here with the Four of Swords. That is Gemini energy. Okay. Okay, so tell me, let's clarify the Knight of Pentacles. Let's clarify you and your situation. What is it that you're taking your time on here? Or what else is playing into this? What can you tell me about the Knight of Pentacles? Knight of Pentacles? Knight of Pentacles? Knight of Pentacles? Oops. Knight of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles, you're building something. Page of Pentacles, it is brand new, and Strength. So this is really great energy that all goes together, and it makes perfect sense that, you would be taking your time with this. Because with the Page of Pentacles here, there's a part of you that feels like you're really in like beginner energy, but also in beginner energy with regard to the thing that you want to build for the long term. This is something that is going to take time. This is something that needs to grow. As Pentacles are of earth energy. It is not a fast moving energy across the suit. So this is really good. I mean, it's like you're taking your time, but you are intentional. You are very intentional here. But you could very well be feeling as though there's a part of you that may vacillate between Page energy and Knight energy. But the thing is that with that intentionality, you are actually progressing, okay? You are progressing. You went from the Page to the Knight. Three of Pentacles, this is about building something from the ground up, okay? This is building something from the ground up. Whatever it is that you are wanting to build and grow for the long term, as I described, you really want a stable foundation behind it, okay? Not just behind it, but beneath it as well. And I get the sense with the Four of Swords as the kind of the bottom of the deck energy that this is you really coming out of a time of healing and taking care of yourself, and during that time giving it a lot of thought around like what it is that you wanted to do next when you pretty much came out of hibernation. And it would appear that 2024 can be like a new gateway into what it is that you're doing here. I mean, I'm seeing a pile number 1 that's very intentional about where they're going and what they want to do, okay? Because with the Strength here, this is also about taming the base desires with the higher knowing. All right. This is really just taming the impulses. My teacher calls it the vulgar saint. You know, it's like you want to move forward with your values intact, like whatever those are to you. And you don't want to be reckless with yourself, with your own heart, or with anybody else's heart. Okay? You really want to do this right. That's what I'm seeing. You want to do this right. Okay, January, Queen of Cups. You could be, you know, with the Queen of Cups here, you could be endeavoring on something that does require a lot of love and nurturing and compassion for yourself and others. This very well could be you wanting to find someone to love and nurture. You could be thinking about, you know, we'll just clarify the Queen of Cups, but it's a very loving, nurturing energy, compassionate energy. But make no mistake, she's not a pushover, okay? She's not a pushover. She is very wise. Okay. And as you know, whenever I say she or he or what have you, it's the energy, the feminine. The Magician, Gemini energy, High Priestess, Pisces energy, and the Nine of Cups. Also Pisces energy. Very nice. Very nice. So in January, you know, you're manifesting something and embodying this Queen of Cups energy as you move forward. I feel as though you may be dealing with a water sign, because with so much earth over here, I get the sense that you have more earth in your chart. There's earth and fire and air, but you know, what we have with the Queen of Cups is we have the Magician, the High Priestess, and the Nine of Cups. So this, whatever this is like, it's bringing you a lot of happiness, and it does have a lot of depth. Okay, it has a lot of depth, and you're manifesting here with this Magician. This is very, very strong energy coming on the, you know, it in the gateway between here and here, where you are in January, February, March, right? This is really beautiful, and it really lines up very well. With the High Priestess, you're not only trusting the strength part of you, as I described earlier, like balancing those energies, the higher mind and the base impulse, base desires, but you're also trusting your intuition. You're trusting your intuition here. And there is parts of you that, and I think that could be connected with the Knight of Pentacles energy, is that you are taking your time with it, because there are some things that you could be holding back. It's like, as I describe this, I get an idea of someone like easing into the body of water. You know, they're not just running from the shore and doing a belly flop into the water. They're like walking down the beach, getting into the water and going in little by little. There's a lot of want to like really just go into the lake or the ocean and just like fully plunge. But you're taking your time, you know, you're warming up. You're getting used to the water, the temperature and everything, right? But you definitely want to go for a swim. Like, you're all about going for a swim, okay? Let's look at February. And the Emperor here in February, this can suggest like, okay, could be an evaluation of your boundaries, an evaluation of where it is that you might be trying to control the situation or be in charge of the situation. You could be doing some work in January that does put you in touch with what it means, like what fathering means to you. Because this is very much the dad energy. So you could be doing some work and doing some reflection on your relationship with your dad. If it's not your actual dad, like someone who was like a father figure to you, you could be on the precipice of becoming a father. You know, this is like where do you just reflecting on that. Where does this energy play out for you? How does it look? What did it look like for you growing up? You know, is there a part of you that really admired that structure and wants to do it the same way? Or is there a part of you that wants to do it a little differently? What are your boundaries about in the month of February? How is it that you want to set structure around this manifestation so you really can see it to fruition for the long term? King of Swords, very mental, and I don't mean like mental, but you know, a lot of air energy of the mind. Page of Cups and the Emperor again. Okay, that's really interesting. So this is very dominant energy. Very dominant energy. I could go so far as to say controlling. I'm going to move this silly pop-up out of here. It's just bugging me. Sorry about that. Okay. No. So listen, the Emperor is clarified by the King of Swords, Page of Cups, and the Emperor. So, you know, if you, and this is in the midst of your manifestation. Okay? Here I see beginner energy. Maybe a little bit of trepidation, but also very much to oneself to a degree. But the intention is fully formed, you know, the intention is fully here. In January, there is a launching of it, a movement towards, there's more movement here towards whatever this manifestation is for you. However, you are holding some things back, but this does make you very happy. I get the sense that you're connecting with somebody. I get the sense that you're connecting with the water sign, okay? But this is something that's like wish fulfillment, like it's super fun, gregarious, like you feel like really at ease with this person, and there's just a delight, you know, there's a delight. You do want to also, you know, if you guys do imbibe, then keep an eye on that with regard to your limits. But with the Magician and the High Priestess here, I feel like that is very well tempered. And then leaning into February, I feel as though this ease is really just pulled way back. This ease and trust in the situation is really pulled back with the double Emperor energy and then the King of Swords. See, the thing is with the King of Swords, you know, I mean, he's not as, okay, he's going to be making decisions with his mind, okay? This is someone who's very much thinking about practicality and what makes sense and what is logical. And in between here, in between all this strong, dominant, like barriered energy, we have the Page of Cups. So small gestures in terms of emotions, small gestures in terms of, you know, like offerings. And you look at these folks right here. Like, this is very, I mean, it's very lustful. It's very lustful, and that's great. That's fun, no judgment. But, I mean, you got to think about what it is, and if that is what you want, you're like, I'm just out here to hit it and quit it. And like, I have all the boundaries around me and I'm just going to get while the getting's good and have fun, then great. But there's something about the preceding energy that would suggest something so much deeper than that. So much deeper than that. So what I'm getting is that you really set your intentions, like you're currently setting your intentions, moving forward with a lot of mindfulness, a lot of depth in January. And then I get the sense like something comes along that's just, you put up your walls and you pulled your heart way back. You pulled your heart way back. That's interesting. I'm going to put your little Merkaba over her little lady bits right there so YouTube doesn't wig out. Okay, so let's, yeah. So something to think about, right? Something to think about, because in January, look, we have the High Priestess here. Whenever the High Priestess shows up, this says, do your work. Your guide has arrived for you to really reflect on your own process. Notice where you were, notice where you're going, pay attention to what happens to you. If love comes in, do you then go like double up on the structure and the boundaries and the control and la-di-da, I mean, it's really very dominant, masculine, like barred energy. And then, oh, am I just going to kind of do this to protect myself, but then offer small gestures to like keep somebody there, to like, I'm going to go in, but I'm not going all the way in, or I'm not, here comes the Knight of Pentacles energy. Maybe the Knight of Pentacles, lives inside of you, right? And it's like puts on the brakes big time. Puts on the brakes big time. Unless, of course, something happens and you're just like, I remember what that was like, and I need to slam on the brakes here. I mean, this really does suggest, like, let's say, for instance, if this is a completely, like, if this is like some sort of endeavor, I mean, it is an endeavor. It doesn't have to be about a relationship, but something that you moved towards with a very open heart, definitely backslid to a more closed, structured thing. So perhaps February could also be, well, I reevaluated, any areas in which I may have felt taken advantage of, and I wanted to, harden up a little bit more around the edges, so in this endeavor that people don't come along and take advantage of me. And that could be said for like a relationship, it could be said for a business endeavor, it could be said for any kind of forward movement toward a goal that involves other people, right? So there's something about February and the time between January and February where it's like something caused you to clam up, like double structure, double control. With the High Priestess, you need to look at what is scaring you. And you very well could have like, okay, I saw some serious red flags. Like, I'm out and I'm like starting over with whatever, this was, since we have the Page of Cups here. Let's look at Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles in the month of March. If this is a business endeavor, March would suggest having good business sense. The Queen of Pentacles is very nurturing, growing, and all of the things. And she's very grounded, very practical. She's very well balanced between the heart and the practical, because all queens are water, but the elements are there. So she is water of earth. Okay. But yeah, in February, you're feeling very protective of yourself. Very logical, kind of cold. Two of Pentacles, King of Cups, and the Knight of Cups. There you go. Kind of stepping into you melted a little bit of that, a little bit of that snow there. Melted a little bit of that. Your walls got melted down just a touch with some of this water. Kind of took a time in the month of February to kind of rein it in, and then in March, feeling safe again to open up and be loving, have more of an open heart. You open your heart back up in the month of March, and you are definitely realizing that this is quite the balancing act for you. I think with the self-reflection that you do within the first quarter, especially from here to here, in that self-reflection, you try to find a balance between boundaries and an open heart. Okay? Because healthy boundaries are permeable but strong. Okay? They're flexible. But they're also designed to, for this very reason, for structure, and your own safety and your own emotional health and well-being. Bottom of the deck energy, we have the Ace of Cups. So yeah, this is definitely about moving forward with the new love situation, planting that seed. You have Ace of Cups and Ace of Pentacles right there, one right on top of the other. I pulled this one at bottom of the deck and then pulled that one. So whoever it is that you're working with here, this is definitely for the long term. Maybe you came in touch with the Queen of Cups and things weren't so, I don't know, there was something about it. And then by March you meet a Queen of Pentacles, who knows, But be that as it may, what I'm also seeing is with this earth energy moving into January with a very open heart, very well intentioned, all the things, kind of pulling it back a little bit in February, really reevaluating all your boundaries, because your walls definitely go up big time in February. Okay. And it's no coincidence that that's the month of Valentine's Day. So make no mistake, if ever you have a, commercially pressured holiday to really do some sort of contrived love gesture, yeah, that makes people break up all the time, and it makes people ghost all the time. So anything that's new and budding is just so much pressure for people, which really kind of sucks. But be that as it may, I'm digressing. In the month of March, you very well could be going from your Queen of Cups, Water of Water, from January, hitting your barriers, hitting your defenses, reflecting on that, okay? And then in March, balancing that out. Water of earth. Earth of water. Right? Queen of Pentacles. Still being nurturing and still having boundaries. Still having an open heart, but still having practicality. Right? So I really do feel, and then look at this. Page of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles. This suggests a full-on forward, healthy growth model. You do definitely, but this is all you're leveling that up, moving forward. And in the month of March, I feel like your heart is open. Your emotions are definitely more well-tempered, like with the King of Cups. This energy is can remain calm in the storm. So yeah, oh my gosh, we have all of them. Look, or no, we don't have the King of Pentacles. Page, Knight Page Knight, Queen of Pentacles, and then Queen, Knight, Queen, and King of Cups. So from here, it's like, say you went from Queen, you wanted to kind of, you backed way off to the page, okay? You backed way off into the page with your heart energy. And then by March, you opened it up a bit more with the Knight. And then you're also balancing that out. And I feel like this King of Cups energy is around you and your heart, your softening, as an answer to this double Emperor and Knight or King of Swords here. Okay? So that's really good. You're finding the balance between your heart and your practicality. This is some beautiful energy. This is some really beautiful energy. It's like, you know what you want, pile one. You know where you're going. You really kind of, you know, get in there and make a go of it in January. And then February, you get a little scared maybe. And then March, you're kind of mellowing out and finding your balance and finding your rhythm. I definitely get the sense that this is with regard to you wanting to connect with other people, with maybe one person in particular. But I feel like this is like you wanting to create and have a relationship at this time in your life. And this is, you know, where you're at by March. By March, I feel like you're really hitting your stride with regard to how you are moving forward and like what it is, just feeling really, really good in yourself. Feeling really good in yourself. And I think that you feel good in yourself now. And you're definitely motivated, very excited right now, which is beautiful. Keep it, you know, like I'm telling you, like totally. This is all good energy. Like whatever it is that you're doing, just keep doing it. And it's okay. These energies that pop up in February are absolutely there as teachers and guides for you to do more self-reflection, because this looks like very defensive energy. And so your defenses are triggered in February, but that's actually a good thing, because then you can reflect on that. And then when we reflect and we kind of like distill this whole, you know, thing that's inside of ourselves, then that actually puts us in a good space to like feel safe moving forward into March and into what you want to pursue. All right, so that's what I have for you for the tarot portion, pile number one. I definitely want to grab an oracle card for you, or I'll do Spirit of the Animals, and I'm also going to pull a couple of these little flower petal cards, because those are fun. Okay, let's see. Let's see here. This was a really good reading. I really, really like this reading. This is very smooth, very forward movement. It's beautiful. Okay, Peacock, Vibrancy. Aww. You were born to shine and inspire. Practice humility to avoid jealousy. Be grateful for life and more good things will come. Be true to yourself and recognize your brilliance. Very nice. And then bottom we have Lizard, Regeneration. As a survivor, you are unparalleled. No matter what happens, you can adapt. Embrace your transformation. Put on your new cloak. You are a master of regeneration. Yes, that's a part of this energy. Stuff gets triggered in February. And you're like, whoa. Okay, let's get some, but then regeneration is all about really reflecting on that. Really doing your inner work around that. I don't want to let's see here. Yeah, I don't want to waterfall shuffle with these little babies. Here, let me just do this. I'll pull one for each month. Or one for now and then one for each month. You get your little flowers. Okay. Do, 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 do. These all fell out. Okay, chrysanthemum. Be here always with willing hands and heart. Very much earth energy. January, baby's breath. Everlasting success is assured if you remain honest and true. Yes. February, gardenia. Listen to the divine whispers stirring in your heart. Yes, I feel like that is really so much like your intuition and your guidance. Like these walls are coming up and you're like, I know I'm overreacting right now. I need to have a session. Okay, Jasmine. Success will be found if you hold on to hope. That's for March. Excellent. Okay, pile number 1. That is what I have for you. Thank you so much for joining me today. I so appreciate your time and your viewership. Like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Okay, bye. Hello, pile 2. If you picked the red jasper, this is your pile. This will be your reading. Okay. And we are going to be doing, like I said in the intro, we're going to be doing a first quarter of 2024 read. What do you expect? Where are you right now? And where are you going? What is January, February, and March going to look like with regard to, you may not have anything in mind, or you could have something in mind, but we'll go ahead and see. I will say this that I didn't say before. If you're drawn to more than one pile, that is perfectly okay. You can go ahead and watch as many as you want. Just go with what resonates the most with you. Don't try to make anything fit. But, you know, if it resonates, you'll know it. If it feels like your energy, you'll know it. But if you find yourself feeling confused and you're like, what is this really about? Like, then it's not your pile. Just pick another pile, okay? All right, let's go here. Pile number 2. Spirit, I respectfully request a message with so much grace and gratitude for pile number 2. Please provide a message for pile number 2's greatest and highest good at this time. Thank you very much, Spirit. Okay, the Empress, yes. 3 of Cups, 7 of Wands, and the Moon. Very intriguing. Very intriguing energy. Bottom of the deck energy, we have the World. Okay. You're closing something up right now. Wrapping up a new cycle, wrapping up the year, or wrapping up a new cycle, wrapping up an old cycle, which is really cool because, you know, we are wrapping up 2023, moving forward into 2024. But you're sitting here in this Empress energy. Very nice. You could really be thinking a lot right now about your creativity, what it is that's inside of you that you are ready, you are, you know, gestating, getting ready to give birth to. This could even be a flesh baby, but it doesn't have to be. But just keep in mind if you, I know that there are some transits right now that actually, either right now or they're coming up real soon, that call for a very fertile time for some signs. If you want more information on that, definitely check out Lori Lothian at Lunatic Astrology. She's fantastic. She's great. Okay, but back to the reading. Empress energy. You're in the flow right now. You are in the flow right now. Getting in touch with your creativity. What is it that you want to bring into this new year? feeling very and looking really attractive. Like you're in this space of like not needing to chase anything or anyone. It's like we're in the flow, that is Empress energy. And it's like things can feel a little bit more effortless. Not to say you're not putting effort into whatever it is you're doing, but it's like you are moving forward with an openness that would allow what is yours to come in, right? And is just kind of like you're freely giving and freely receiving in this energy. Very, very open. Very open. And not and not having any expectations, you know. But just really trusting your intuition and doing what feels right, and really being focused on yourself, and not in some kind of like arrogant way, but in a very self-care, self-nurturing way. And the Empress, she has enough to go around, you know what I mean? Like as far as like her warmth and her attention, and she's not going to overextend herself, but she's not going to undergive either. It's like whatever feels just right to her. And this is an energy, this is an archetype, this is the mother archetype. Okay? So this could also suggest you being in a position right now to be, you know, really reflecting on how it is that you mother, how it is that you nurture. How were you nurtured? Is that something you want to emulate? Is that something that really worked well for you? Or is that something that you are reflecting on and wanting to change? Or, you know, taking away what doesn't work and really holding on to the parts that do when it comes to how you were mothered. And that could be by your actual biological mother or just a maternal figure in your life. So for January, we have the Three of Cups, really spending time with friends, inner circle, having fun, you know, maybe keeping the celebration going. But it's definitely, I see that, you know, relying a lot on your inner circle, but it's also fun. There's a lighthearted energy that is in January. In February, things begin to get a little bit defensive. With the Seven of Wands here, your boundaries are up, but with this figure here behind these bars, it's like he's pulling them apart, right? It's like he has these boundaries, but he's opening them up a little bit. So perhaps in February, you're coming out a little by little, right? And then in March, we have the moon, but that makes sense because the moon is Pisces and Cancer energy, but, you know, month of March is the month of Pisces. We have Cancer energy here. The Seven of Wands, I believe, is Leo energy. Nay. Yeah, Leo energy. The Empress, Taurus energy. And the World is all the fixed signs. Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, and Leo. Okay. And I'm just feeling called to say, if you feel a little annoyed with the way that I shuffle or whatever, how long it takes, that's how I do it. And yeah, so So hopefully you're not, but I know that was a really long shuffle, but I like to talk while I shuffle as well. So you're still getting a reading. You're still getting the cards read for you, but it's just kind of like how I channel the energy, you know. I connect with my cards in that way. So hopefully it doesn't bother you, but that is my process. So for the Empress here, we have Death, Sun, and Tower. Okay, let me tell you. Whatever has transitioned in your life right now, whatever cycle that you just closed off and put a bow on, it was absolutely for the best. This tower had to come down. And this transformation and, irrevocable ending needed to happen for you to really step into your flow. This is a very empowered space that you're in right now. And for you to have the sun shine again. Look at how these are lined up right here. And you are flanked by some pretty dark energy, bummer energy for sure. And that's it is what it is, and you can grieve it as necessary. But this ending with the sun in the middle suggests it was the best thing for you. The best thing for you. King of Swords on the bottom of the deck. So really having used your intellect here and your judgment, like your knowing, like you really had to bring in the ice. You had to ice something out to really put a bow on whatever this was and focus on yourself and just feel the warmth of life again in you, in your empowered state, and moving forward. So it makes sense to me that in the month of January, you have your inner circle around you, still trying to, have a good time and heal and move forward and get support from your peeps, from your nearest and dearest, okay? And it's about quality, not quantity. This is a smaller friendship group. You're not spreading yourself too thin in the month of January, nor in the month of February, and quite possibly not in the month of March either. So that's good, because you are like right in the flow with the Empress and the Sun here. A lot of things were illuminated. And you were just like, this is not my jam. I can't do this. This is holding me back. I get the sense that whatever you were engaged with was really blocking your blessings. You knew you had to break free. You knew you had to move forward. And you had to trust yourself and be just totally get back in alignment with you and who you are and your nearest and dearest. Those that you could trust. Your inner circle. Okay. Knight of Cups. Page of Swords, 10 of Wands. Okay, so clarifying the 3 of Cups, we have the Knight of Cups, the Page of Swords, and the 10 of Wands. So what comes to me straight away is that, if our nearest and dearest can't call us out on our stuff, who can? Okay, but it is coming from a place of love. It is coming from a place of love here. With the Page of Swords, there is a conversation that is being initiated. You could very well be, of course, talking to them about your struggles, talking to them about your burdens, and how whatever this was that you just came out of here was very, very hard and was very difficult for you to carry, but you were carrying it for a really long time. There was a part of you that felt like you needed to be all things to all people. That you were just like being the one to do all the work, whether it be physical or emotional or whatever it was, but it's like you were doing the lion's share here. And, you know, I feel like with you coming together with your inner circle in January that you're really able to process these things, you know, and I do really feel like it's important to stay open to, and I do feel like you are, like with this Knight of Cups here, you are very much open to whatever messages they are giving you in these conversations that are coming from a place of love. Because it's like they're there and they're supporting you. They're there and they're supporting you, and you are having fun with them, and it is an emotionally safe space for you to open up and talk about this tough time. You know? So I really do feel like January is a month of healing for you. It's a really good month of healing for you, because we got like triple whammy ending right here. Three majors with regard to an ending. And then, you know, January, you're just kind of coming up and out of it. And, you know, you're trying to get your mojo back too. I feel like whatever this was, it really did a number on your self-esteem. But by really cutting it loose, you are so stepping right back into your power. And it's like, this is not just like, oh, I'm repairing my ego. Like, this is full on spirit right here. Like, you have a very strong spirit. Like, the Empress is the culmination of all the queens. So you're calling on all your energies and moving forward. That's it. It took a lot for you to really, like, I get the sense that you brought this tower on. You were like, this needs to be done so I can get back in alignment with myself, you know. And I feel like January, yeah, just a lot of healing. And then January can be a little bit more about, you know, you kind of licking your wounds a bit and dusting off that ego or dusting off that self-esteem a bit, because, you know, there can be wounds for sure. You know, well, the Empress is very powerful. She's not invulnerable. We're not, all of us, we are not invulnerable. We can all be hurt and be powerful. All right, let's look at February. Still feeling a bit guarded in February. Maybe you're reevaluating your boundaries here. Trying to think about, okay, well, where did I come from? What were some of the things that I talked about with my people in January? And that gave me some food for thought when it comes to my own boundaries. This one fell out. I'm going to take it. 10 of Pentacles, 4 of Cups, Queen of Wands. And I still haven't found what I'm looking for. That's the song that came in for me when I pulled that 4 of Cups. I get the sense that this reevaluation of boundaries in February is really all about what it is that you want in your life for the long term. You know? I mean, you got the 10 of Pentacles on your mind, but what you have encountered so far has been less than desirable here. And this Queen of Wands, she is not settling for less. Nope. Nope. Neither is this Empress. But man, I'm thinking, you know, the Empress is a culmination of all the queens. That's where you're at right now. But I feel like in February, you kind of step a bit more into your fire energy with the setting of these boundaries, you know, with the 7 of Wands. Really not settling for less. That's what I'm seeing in the month of February. And that is something that you are getting clear on in yourself. You are not going to suffer no fools. Nope. I love it. I love this energy. Very empowered. Very empowered. Disappointing for sure. disappointing for sure, because there could be some things that you really are like, okay, I really want to incorporate this piece and that piece to kind of complete my future, my 10 of Pentacles vision and like all the things, but it's just not, it could possibly not be showing up yet as far as the Four of Cups is concerned. The other aspect that I want to point out here that definitely is well worth mentioning is be mindful about the rigidity of your boundaries, okay? Because if we're very much sitting in our I ain't settling for shit kind of energy and like the boundaried energy, we could be a little bit too rigid. I'm just saying this, don't come for me, but I'm just saying that you want to just keep your heart a little bit more open to even, and not even just your heart, your eyes. Keep your eyes open to what does present itself. Definitely pay attention to that intuition when it hits you that like, nay, that's not, no, that's not the thing that I need to pursue or to accept, that offer, what have you. But sometimes if we're a little bit too like boundaried and closed, we could miss opportunities as well. But be that as it may, that's the energy of February, and that's okay. That's the energy of February, and that is okay. So you may find that opportunities do come your way, and either you're just like not interested, or you just don't even, you're kind of focused on other things where you may not even notice them, Okay, let's look at the moon. Let's look at March. With the moon here, it could be suggesting that, things in your unconscious, subconscious rather, are coming up to the surface. There are things that could very well be hidden inside of you. This could be an invitation to do some, shadow work in the month of March. You could be getting in touch with what it is that really makes you scared. How might you or others hold things back? What is up with, your inner world, and whether or not you share that, or if it's just enough for you to recognize what is coming up for you in the month of March. It also wants you to pay attention to illusions. I think that's good that you have those boundaries on your side resonating from February to help you recognize any kind of falsity that may come your way, any kind of things that appear one way but are really something else, in the dark of night. Five of Wands, King of Pentacles, and the Two of Cups. Yeah. So I get the sense that someone's going to be in your orbit. There's somebody that you meet. Either you just meet them in the month of March, or this could be somebody coming back because of this internal struggle here, external struggle with the Five of Wands and the Moon. King of Cups at the bottom of the deck. King of Cups and King of Pentacles. Underneath the King of Cups, we have the Emperor. And then we got the Ten of Swords. So, is somebody coming back in the month of March to show up like this King of Cups, when you know that it was like the controlling and whatever it was that was very guarded about this person or very controlling about this person ended up bringing about this very hard ending, this deception or betrayal. This could be somebody coming back in wanting to make things right. You know, because Emperor is kind of like about making things right, but that's according to what the Emperor thinks is right, okay? But we have a lot of open-hearted energy here. In the month of March, when I pulled these cards, the Five of Wands, King of Pentacles, and the Two of Cups, this, you know, I had mentioned before I pulled those cards that things could be coming up for you. You really could be doing a lot of reflection in the month of March. With the Five of Wands, this can be internal struggle and external struggle. And the reason that I said maybe somebody comes back is that after all this, you had gone and talked to your friends, right? You got called out on some stuff. You took it in with so much love, got real clear on the boundaries and all the things like I explained. And watch this person be coming back in. This was bottom of the deck energy. This was bottom of the deck energy. It was like this. Okay? So it's like, here's this King of Cups, something that you don't see coming. And then underneath that, it's like the structure is the same. Maybe they want to make good, but maybe they're just here to offer you the same thing that's just going to lead you to pain. Like you already know what this got you before, you know, and it's very hard to resist the King of Cups. And it's very hard to resist the Emperor too, to be fair. Va 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 boom. Oh my. But I'm telling you, right? Okay. So, you know, with the moon, the month of March, this could be you hiding something from, you know, keeping something secret, something to yourself as well. And this gives you an internal struggle. Your friends could be like, what are you even doing, dude? This person cannot come back, you know? But like this King of Pentacles here, this could be a struggle inside of you because, you know, maybe somebody comes along in the month of March that's very stable, very generous. And this is like a Two of Cups experience for you, right? So I don't know if you're dealing with two different people here because we have like two different kings, but just the month of March alone, there is some conflict around this King of Pentacles. Could possibly be an earth sign. You could be dealing with an earth sign and a water sign. You could have a water in your chart. You could also, yeah. I'll call out the signs when I wrap up this part of the reading, but there is some conflict in the month of March, but you're doing a lot of soul searching. I feel like you do have a Two of Cups energy with you in the month of March. I mean, you could be kind of going back and forth about this King of Pentacles, whatever it is that you're engaged with, like with regard to this Two of Cups. I feel like with the King of Cups, Emperor, and the Ten of Swords at the bottom of the deck, this could also be, they may not be like, oh, well, here they're coming back, here they are, blah, blah, blah. This could very well be the conflict that you have inside of you with regard to this new person, this Two of Cups in the month of March, is also bringing up a lot of stuff for you from when you got hurt. Big time. So this is something you don't see, bottom of the deck energy, right? Like your heart, this could be you. Like your heart was so open and, you know, where were your boundaries? Hence working on your boundaries in February. You're like, I don't want to, we won't get fooled again. You know, that song by The Who. That's also what I'm getting from these. Yeah, it's like, you know, maybe your heart was so open and you're just thinking about your boundaries because you don't want that. You don't want to be betrayed again. So I guess, I mean, it definitely could go both ways, but here's the, here's the thing, that there is struggle on how to do, on what to do. I feel like in the month of March, given that the King of Pentacles is here, this is a very patient energy, and I don't get the sense that this person is going anywhere, okay? And there is this shared energy. So I do get the sense that, I mean, you'll have to see in the month of March, but whether or not you feel a level of emotional safety here in order to share this internal struggle with this person. It's kind of like, oh, I really do want to move forward with you, and I am enjoying you, and I do find you have a very stable presence, and you're very nurturing, and you're definitely giving to this, to our Two of Cups energy here, but I'm also very scared. And I'm very conflicted, because of what has happened to me before in a very open-hearted space. And I mean, you could very well be sharing that in that kind of example that I just, explained, or that could very well be just inside of you. And I feel like with the moon here, whether or not you're going to be an outward processor and process that with this person or with friends or whatever, or if you're going to be processing it on the inside, the moon suggests that there does need to be a processing of that. Come the month of March, I mean, there's always need for processing. Something that ended here that was very, very painful. You process some here, but with the Page and the Knight may have been a little bit more lighter. Maybe you didn't go as deep, okay? And a lot of times when we've been hurt so badly, one of the things that we do and say is that we really shore up our boundaries, right? We're just like, we're hurt, so then we kind of do like this Cancer thing, like a crab, like clam up, kind of go in the shell, harden up, and this is Cancer energy and Pisces energy. Yeah. I mean, and the thing is, listen, this is a gift. It's all a gift. This isn't a bad reading. This is a really, really good reading. This is a beautiful reading, because what's happening in the month of March is an opportunity. I mean, what's happening throughout this entire thing is an opportunity. And you're doing it as you go, you are doing it as you go. It's a process. You know where you are, and then you know where you're going to go, right? And then it's kind of like the fear comes up. Fear gets triggered, I feel like, in the month of March. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, whenever we're hurt, I feel like it's kind of like an overcorrection, like if we reflected on what had just happened and be like, oh my gosh, my heart was way too open. I was way too giving. I was way too nurturing. I was just like, but that's the thing, like you showed up in your authentic heart space, and that is not your fault. It is not your fault when anybody comes along or anything comes along and puts you through the ringer or takes advantage of that in any kind of way. That whole dynamic is about that person, like full on. I mean, and there can be ways in which we for sure need to look at our own part that we played in it and be like, what does it mean to have boundaries? Can I still be loving and kind and nurturing and balance that out with taking time for myself and saying no to other people, Kind of going a little bit off the rails here. I think that I'm just kind of going down this path of talking about boundaries and self-reflection But at the end of the day, none of it is fodder for giving yourself a hard time. Not to let yourself off the hook, but it's not meant to then be turned around and like, oh, I was so this or I was so that and I'm just, no. This isn't a tool for self, flagellation, okay? But yeah, I see for pile number 2, you're in a process right now where you're stepping right back into your power, and it's beautiful. It's warm. You call your supports around you in January. You really get clear on kind of boundaries and things in February, but you really need to kind of look at the rigidity of such boundaries, but kind of like balance them. You want to seek the middle way when it comes to your boundaries, but you could definitely be feeling quite hardened in February. And in March, I get the sense that there is a 2 of Cups, whether it's a new person or whether it's this old person that tries to come back. There's going to be a lot of soul searching in the month of March and a lot of self-reflection with regard to your own processing. Your own processes, like just all of the stuff. So I really think like in the month of March, it'd be really good to connect with a very trusted mentor and friend. It could be obviously somebody from your close knit group of supports and people, but just really be honest with yourself and really be honest with, and beware of anyone. I don't know. You just really want to have someone give you some very meet you where you're at with regard to very grounded feedback in any kind of process that you're doing when it comes to your own mind and heart and spirit and your boundaries and your psyche. But whatever decision that you make, like whatever comes to pass for you, it's all going to be the right thing, because all we can do at the end of the day is we make our choices and we get clearer. We make our choices and we get clearer. That's all we do. And it's all a part of the process. So I'm going to go ahead and leave the tarot there for you, pile number 2. I know I kind of went on this therapist-y, kind of went off. Nah, I don't know. I wouldn't say it went off the rails. It was definitely related, definitely a part of it. But sometimes the message comes in and I just need to share it. And that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. And so I won't apologize for it. Because that was, yeah, that's a message. It's a message. Giraffe, visionary. Rise above earthly matters. Glide through life with grace. You are able to see the right path. Stand tall in your self-worth and love with a big heart. Yes. Yes, self-worth is written all over this reading. Yep. Raven, shaman. Excuse me. You are the creator and magician. Use your gifts for good. There is power in your wisdom and words. Connect with the elemental spirits and glide through the void. Claim your place as keeper of the mysteries. Yeah, like what was I saying? You can hold things to yourself. I like that energy. I like that energy. And I'm going to do 4 petal cards for you. Magnolia, you will find what you need in the wisdom of your heritage. January, Lysianthus, gratitude and grace always look lovely on you. Yep, so whatever you're taking in from your people, you know, receive their messages with gratitude. In February, gladioli, set boundaries well to ensure good growth. What did we say about the month of February? Set boundaries well to ensure good growth. I love that when it all comes together. March, snapdragon, listen with care, speak with kindness. Yep, and when that says listen with care, I get the sense that that's you listening to your heart, you listening to anybody you get guidance from. So this is a really powerful reading, pile number 2. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for your viewership, all your likes, shares, and subscribes, pardon me, and I will see you next time. Okay, bye. Hello, pile number 3. If you chose the Merkaba Labradorite, then this is your reading. So what we're going to be doing, as I explained in the intro, we're going to be looking at the first quarter of 2024. We're going to take a look at your current energies and then the energies for January, February, and March. Okay. And if you were drawn to more than one pile, feel free to watch those as well. Make sure to take what resonates, leave what does not, and don't try to make anything fit. If anything comes across, if on the whole a reading ever comes across as kind of confusing, you're like, might apply a little bit, but I don't really know, then that just means it's not your reading and that you pick a different pile. That's just fine. But my guess is that you picked pile number 3 for a reason and that there is something here for you. Okay, so at this time I'd like to invite Spirit in with so much grace and gratitude and respectfully request a message for pile number 3's greatest and highest good at this time. Thank you very much, Spirit. Okay, current energy, 4 of Wands, January, 7 of Pentacles, February, Queen of Swords, and March, 5 of Cups. Bottom of the deck energy, we have the Magician, Gemini energy, 4 of Wands, Leo, 7 of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles, I believe that's Virgo. Queen of Swords could be any air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and 5 of Cups. That is Scorpio energy. Okay, so it would appear that right now there's a sense of stability. You know, this is really very much where we've been at with regard to home, family, stability, celebration, all the things. It's really kind of in the ether right now for so many of us. But it would appear that, you know, you've really been enjoying your stability of your home lately, regardless of who is in it and what you make of it. And in January, there's a going back to the drawing board. There is a retweaking of a plan, reevaluation of a plan, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't. Really not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. You're definitely in it to win it. You're still invested in whatever it is in January, but you're making some adjustments so that you can see your goal and what it is that you want to grow, you know, come to fruition in more of a fruitful way. And in February, Queen of Swords, definitely using more discernment and being more circumspect in the month of February. Looking to the future. I feel as though January and February are quite connected with regard to the reevaluations that you did in January lead to circumspection and continued practice of like logic and discernment in February. And then we get to March. This very well could be, you know, there's some grief that happens in March. Could be regret. It could be looking at the past, looking at what was lost for you. But as we go along, we will see what is up. But with regard to the Magician being at the bottom of the deck here, that is an overall energy, an underlying energy. Basically, this speaks to a manifestation. It speaks to a goal, something that you have all the tools that you need, all the elements are working with you in order to make whatever it is that you want to manifest. And, you know, I get the sense that you see whatever it is that you're wanting to manifest can really only add to your stability and your joy when it comes to your home and it comes to your life and your stability. But with the next 3 months, there is a process taking place with regard to what it is you're manifesting. So let's get into it. The Four of Wands is clarified by the Fool, the Seven of Wands, and the Knight of Pentacles. So yeah, you're definitely, you know, like I said, manifesting a brand new cycle. Stepping out, going out with so much, it's like, it's interesting. There's a lot of trust and a lot of like leap and the net will appear energy. However, that's immediately followed up by the Seven of Wands, which is boundaries for sure. But also really looking to the future, looking at how much you have overcome, how much you have overcome in the past. Pardon that beeping. It's my coffee maker. But yeah, I mean, I guess that beep can be like confirmation that that is currently what you're doing. You know, you're manifesting a new cycle and you're also wanting to have your boundaries kind of, that could even be what you're reevaluating, to be fair, you know, really taking a look at your boundaries and how that is kind of there's a little bit of a dichotomy here. And it makes sense then that the Knight of Pentacles would be here because the Knight of Pentacles moves forward very slowly with regard to something that they want to grow for the longer term, right? So yeah, but you are balancing these energies out with this approach. You're in it to win it. You got the long vision. You're taking a leap, but you're not leaping just in some sort of naive kind of way. You really want to have your wits about you in this new manifestation because this is about your long-term stability. This is about your home. This is about your growth. Okay? So this is good. This is good energy. And at the bottom of the deck there, I just saw we had the star. So this is connected to your hopes and dreams and wishes. It's also connected to your healing. It's very, very interesting. I feel like piles 1 and 2 were very similar because it's like similar themes coming out. And then pile 3 is kind of, each pile in this whole video is they're very much connected, very similar. It's It's about starting anew. This is definitely more of a reevaluation energy. Yeah, reevaluation in each reading, but in different spots, in different stages. All right, let's look at January here. 7 of Pentacles, continuing to invest. Yeah, these 3 fell out here. King of Cups, 6 of Wands, 3 of Pentacles. Yeah. Okay, so you're continuing to invest in some sort of endeavor here. Some sort of endeavor that you feel like could possibly bring you a lot of adulation and praise. But I really do feel like the 7 of Pentacles and the 3 of Pentacles are very strongly connected, because 7 of Pentacles suggests that we're kind of tweaking our plan a little bit to see the growth that we want to see. You're doing this with so much emotional stability, love, and compassion for yourself and the situation at hand, and whoever else that you're working with. The 3 of Pentacles suggests a desire for a very strong, stable foundation. So whatever it is that you want to grow here, the strong foundation is very important to you. It's very important to you. You really do want to build this up in the right way, whatever it is. You have success on your mind, but the success is not going to come at the cost of your integrity and your heart. You know, finding a balance between how to really grow what it is that you're trying to grow with a strong foundation, and to really like receive recognition for it, but not letting it go to your head to where you're just like kind of becoming very arrogant. Something to watch out for with the 6 of Wands. It's a victory card for sure. I feel like, so let me back it up a little bit. I feel like your reevaluation to get clear on the strong foundation is going to bring you victory, okay? And with regard to any adulation and or praise that you receive, you know, it's true. It's totally coming from a place inside somebody else where it's like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome. You're so great. But it's like, you want to just have, and I feel like you do have that, but this is a reminder to have some humbleness in the face of that, you know, and also take it with a grain of salt. You know, sometimes it's like, yeah, it's true. It's good. But if someone's heaping the praise on and kind of laying it on thick, you know, don't let it go to your head, and just know that sometimes, I don't know, like sometimes this could be compliments that feel very authentic, and they really are authentic in the moment, but it can also be a little like somewhat I want to say vapid or shallow, but I don't think it's like that strong or that deep or that malicious. Like, I don't think anyone's going to be giving you praise like in an effort to manipulate you or to like, you know, pull one over on you by any means. But it's just, I guess the advice here is to just like, the invitation here is to keep your humility and your wits about you. And I feel like you are, because, you know, when we look at February, it's like you're in the Queen of Swords energy. Okay. But that's really interesting. It's like there's the King of Cups clarifying this investment. And then by the time you're rocking and rolling into February, there's this Queen of Swords. So a lot more discerning, a lot more like, I want to say stringent or structured or strict or clear-cut, semi-cold but very clear, very discerned. There is boundaries going up. Every pile got like this revamp of boundary setting and how they're responding to what transpires in January with this kind of a little bit of a hardening. But yet, you know, Queen of Swords, she is, you know, air of water. So, you know, let's just see. Let's just see. What's up with the Queen of Swords in February? Let's just say you're definitely discerning, more discerning in the month of February. Five of Cups, Eight of Cups, 10 of Wands. Yeah. So whatever it was, okay. These are your intentions in January, and you very well may have been working with a couple of other people. And since the foundation is so important to you, it would appear that what needed to be reevaluated in the month of February and what needed to be cut out was perhaps one of these team members that wasn't pulling their weight, because you were doing all the work. You were doing all the work. And that definitely caused you some sadness. You really definitely in the month of February are going to feel as though that was a setback for sure. You could be feeling regret with regard to like, oh man, I knew that they were a little bit too loose and I kind of didn't really take them it's like they laid it on thick and I should have been, you know, I took them at their word, right? I took them at their word, and it turns out that they were just kind of bullshit, or excuse me, blowing smoke a little bit. Okay. So there could be parts of you that feels a bit regretful, but in the kind of, you see it very quickly. And that's actually very, very strong. That's really good. Queen of Swords doesn't suffer fools, you know, so it would appear that you were doing a lot of the work and this other person wasn't pulling their weight and you decided to walk away from that, right? Walk away from that. So it could have been one or a couple people on your team. You could have had been like, okay, well, I ain't scrapping my idea and my goal and what it is that I want to make manifest here. But I'm coming to find that maybe you need to pick a whole brand new team of people, whatever it is that you're working on. And I will say that it's not, this was very deep. This is deep because, you know, with the Five of Cups here, that's deep grief. Okay. That's deep grief. And then we have that feeling bleeding over into March. We got the Five of Cups here twice. Five of Cups here twice. So maybe you really do feel like somebody just pulled the wool over your eyes and it's just like so heartbreaking. Let's look at March. What happened? I'm really curious because, I mean, I'm looking at this and I'm feeling like business. I'm feeling like endeavor, a group project, some sort of something. But it, you know, it just take the energy as it applies. You know, what is it that you've been wanting to make manifest, and kind of coming out the gate, and it's kind of like, okay, my boundaries are such that you were reevaluating them right now at this moment. Maybe you were working with a couple of people and neither one of them worked out, and you're just like, oh my God, why is this so hard? It's just like, why is this so hard? And in that sense, with that narrative, you could be trying to go out and date again. You know what I mean? Let's see here. That could very well be it. But I feel like it's something that's definitely hitting on a deep level with this Five of Cups. Showing up here twice. It's definitely, I get a discouraged feeling, and really another vibe that I'm getting is kind of like this kind of going down the drain a little bit, like looking to the past and being like, oh my gosh, this never works. This always happens to me. I'm just like, what, you know, like, what is the deal? Like, why does this keep failing? You know? That's something that is also here. And I just heard, I try and I try and I try. Five of Cups, clarified by the Death. Five of Wands, and Temperance. So I will say this, Five of Wands came out for every pile, okay? Five of Wands was even came out 3 times in the shorts that I put out last night. Bottom of the deck energy, we have the Emperor and the Wheel of Fortune as well. And then the Knight of Wands, Magician. So, this is definitely bossing up energy. Okay, let me rub my eyes and my face a little bit here. So in the month of March, I'm seeing an irrevocable ending and a deep transformation, okay? A deep transformation for you, and this has been quite a struggle. You have been very, very patient, with Temperance here, and really, really just, trying to stay balanced and really wanting to alchemize all these intentions and this idea and this want for growth in this particular direction, where I feel like in the month of March, you're like, no. I can't continue to pour into this situation, whatever it is, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a business, whether it's a team, whether it's a job or whatever it is. It's like, it's like no matter what you do, no matter how many times you go back to the drawing board, it's like you're still struggling, and then you're just kind of like, there's competition, everybody has an opinion, and it's like, it's almost like there's too many cooks in the kitchen. Like, too many cooks in the kitchen spoil the broth, And I feel like you kind of go back and forth from trying to get team participation and trying to get support and doing it with so much flexibility and love, and everybody's like, oh my God, you're the best. And you're like, thank you. And then in February, you're like, okay guys, if I'm the best, why am I still the one bearing all the weight of this whole shebang? And then so you gotta leave the situation, and then you're really feeling that in March. Maybe this is you leaving a job. But, as I said, take it as it resonates. But it's I just feel like whatever it is that you endeavored to do, I feel like it was you were just keeping up the spirit, you're keeping up the spirit, and you're holding you have the long vision in mind. This is connected to your stability. You want to make manifest something really stable here. And it's just, maybe you're working in a toxic environment on some level where there's just too much infighting. There's too much folks not picking up the slack, or, folks totally focusing on random stuff that's just okay, that's not as important as this other thing. You have to make decisions in the order of operations a priority. What do we prioritize first as a team? Because it's there's too much, when there's so much competition or so much power struggles going on, it just, nobody gets anywhere. Everyone's just running in place, but yet everybody has the same goal. Everyone has the same goal, to make something successful and to have it have a strong foundation and to build and to grow. And I'm just seeing a lot of, mismatched cooperation, folks not being able to get on the same page, like with regard to how to go about carrying out this, means to an end. And so maybe that's it for you. Maybe you're just like, okay, yeah, I had all this in it to win it invested with so much heart, but I'm just kind of getting to this point where I'm about to scrap this. I mean, I feel like with this Fool, and this is what's coming, that's why this energy is here, because you're coming at this with a renewed sense of energy, right? The Fool, but this isn't your first rodeo, so what's needed with boundaries, and it's like, this is like a commitment, like a recommitment to the cause, a recommitment to this stable house and home, So this could be within your own stable house and home, or this could be maybe you work in that kind of field where you provide housing and homes for others or manage properties or whatever the case may be. But it's like, here we are, right? This renewed sense of energy. We're really going to make this work. We're going to come back stronger in 2024. And it's hitting you right straight away. It's like, okay, yeah, the calendar can turn over, but and that's something else, like that word turnover. Is there a lot of turnover? But in the month of March, I mean, it's like, there's something about the Temperance here where I get the sense that you may still be in this, but you might be stepping back. You might be stepping back a little bit, holding your energy back a little bit when it comes to, like, working behind the scenes, as they say. Because I get the sense that these folks right here are the ones that are like in the stuff every day, And maybe you pull back your energy and you're kind of like, well, how do I alchemize some success in the situation by really just pulling my energy back, still participating, but doing more so in a back channel kind of way. Because something here in February, I mean, you made the decision to walk away from something that was definitely overburdening you, and it really hurt to do that because you have so much belief in this system and like you want so badly to be a contributing member to building this strong foundation, and you have so much heart when it comes to this. So much heart. So much. And you're like, I'm not giving up. But something in the month of February where you're just seeing it for what it is, and you're just like, oh my gosh. I just heard, I can't win. Ooh. Yeah, I get the sense that this is like a work situation, or there's something where you're just trying to make it come together. Give me a beat here. Give me a second. With the Eight of Cups, I feel like that's a part of it. That like in February, you feel like what you're going to be doing, even though it does hurt to do this, but you realize in order for others to step up, you have to step back. In order for others to step up, you have to lay down some of these wands, or maybe even drop the whole pile to give people room to come forward and be like, well, come on forward. Let's see what you got. Because here I am doing so much work, probably doing all the work. I need to pull my energy back here so I could take care of myself, because this is really hurting me. And this is just really hard. So I'm just gonna have to do my stuff in the back channel here, and be patient while I watch you fools try to work this out. you know? And that's really hard. That's really, really hard. That's really hard. Especially when you're like, you bring so much heart to the situation, and then you're kind of watching these folks like come in and they don't even know what to do, or they're just like, meh, and they're just kind of fighting over stuff that's like really not relevant. You know? It's just like, I feel like a very, like a throwing up your hands energy. And you don't know if you're going to be full on leaving this scene, but you're definitely pulling your energy back. Definitely pulling your energy back. And we do have boss energy right here. Wheel of Fortune. Knight of Wands and Magician. So, I mean, this suggests that, like, there's a lot of libidinal energy connected to what it is that you want to grow here. And you do have the capacity to really just, like, set the mad structure for this. The other aspect of what I'm seeing, this could very well be a politician. Why did I say that? I was about to say invitation, but then my words wanted to say politician. This very well could be an invitation for you to, like, full on assert yourself and really take on more of a leadership role, rather than, I mean, this is important. Having so much heart is really important, but it's like, you're not just a worker bee. Like, I get the sense here that your role is a lot stronger than you give yourself credit for here. And there's a bit with the double 5 of Cups here. It's kind of like, kind of like a, like, kind of letting these fools run the show in a way. And trust, this Emperor energy completely outweighs these 5 of Wands, these folks that are trying to make things happen. Like, yeah, I think that you need to, I mean, and you're just like, well, I feel very ineffective here despite everything that I've been doing. So I'm just going to pull my energy way back and try to alchemize in the background. And this advice is saying, you know what? Maybe you actually need to step forward and step up and be a whole heck of a lot louder and a whole heck of a lot fierier. Because Knight of Wands is fire of fire. Because the Wheel of Fortune is at play here. This is something that's like, this is a cycle. You have done this kind of thing before. You need to reflect on whether or not your diminishing energy with regard to facing these challenges is working. Have you done this before? Okay? Where then you kind of get to a place of where you're overworked, and then you pull way back because you're losing steam and you're losing hope and everyone's lame and they're like fighting and whatever else. And then you just kind of then, okay, I got a renewed sense of energy. I'm going to come back in. But then you're still coming in with this lovely, like, King of Cups energy, because God forbid people don't praise and adulate you, because, no one's going to say anything. No one's going to have a harsh word to say about the King of Cups. Right? But you know what? Someone might talk some shit about the Emperor if the Emperor comes in and swings the big one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. So you get to choose here, pile number 3. Do you want to diminish and go into the west like Galadriel? Or do you want to, like, really come out and be like, I'm taking charge of this. I'm taking charge. I'm taking charge because guess what? I've stood here for far too long to watch this thing spontaneously combust because y'all can't get your stuff together, and I need to really, really like kind of come out here. Come out swinging, I should say. You know, not that you want to hurt anybody, but it's like I'm getting a real like take your ovaries out of your handbag kind of vibe, you know? So you have a choice here, pile number 3. Yeah. And I think the advice, the invitation here is to make manifest, like you have what it takes. You got the Magician here twice. Boss up. You're too battle weary. You've been battle weary and in your head. But what's fair is for you to come on out and set the structure. That's what's fair. Speak up. No more just like being in your own head and being all guarded and defensive and you know, granted it would be true and it would be fair for someone to feel this way in response to this. But what the cards are telling me is that you're going to put a bow on that energy. You're not going to hold back anymore. You need to put a bow on this whole, like, you know, not saying anything, working in the background, even though you got boss energy here. This invitation is saying, come on out and assert yourself with regard to this scene. Because somebody who's a boss and someone who can set structure can also have a lot of heart. And ultimately, that's what's driving the structure around this endeavor. Yeah. Yeah. So wipe your tears and step into your Queen of Swords and your Emperor energy. There could be somebody that tries to, you know, cut you down and you know, diminish your role in some way or diminish your impact in some way. But you're not going, the advice here is to not go down without a fight. You need to step into it, step into your power. That's the invitation, and you have what it takes, pile number 3. You absolutely have what it takes. Okay? So I'm going to leave it there for the tarot portion, and I'm going to pull a couple of animal cards for you, and then I will pull some little flower petal cards for your current situation in January, February, March, okay? White Stag, Protector. You are an old soul. Your best friend is nature. Use your intuition to take you where you want to go. Awaken to the powerful force within you. You are meant to create blessings with your magic. Awaken the powerful force within you. I like that. Okay, bottom of the deck. Bison, abundance. Sacred buffalo, cloak me in your wisdom. Keep me warm through the storms of life. Fill my life with goodness. Teach me the way of gratitude and prayer. I like how they're both snowy, you know? Really kind of goes along with the season that we're in right now. Oops. And like I was saying, you do have a choice, pile number 3. You could come out and be like, I'm going to harness my power in this situation and really take control because that's what it needs. But doing so in a very compassionate leader kind of way, but not so soft. You know, you could still be strong and, you know, loving but firm, okay? Loving but firm. Or if you're just like, I have had it and I am out of here, then honor that too. Honor that too. Okay, current situation, Snapdragon. Listen with care, speak with kindness. Fair enough. I really feel like you have been doing that. That's definitely your mode. January, Chrysanthemum. Be here always with willing hands and heart. Yep, that speaks to your rededication to the whole situation, okay? February, Lily of the Valley. Happiness is found with your purpose. Okay, so really getting back in touch with why it is that you've been doing this. Why is it that you've been carrying this load? Is there a way for you to be engaged and to still be completely in your purpose, but not having to do it all? Okay. March, Gardenia. Listen to the divine whispers stirring in your heart. So what is it that what is your heart telling you? Is your heart telling you to step up and step into the Emperor energy, or is it telling you to walk away and just, be done or whatever? Or is it telling you something completely different? Because those two things are very dichotomous. They're very black and white. I realize that. But yeah, so that's what I'm seeing for you, pile number 3. I really hope that this message helped you. I really do. And I thank you so much for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes and your viewership. And I will see you next time. Okay. Bye.